In a rare prime-time television address, President Joe Biden has called on Congress to ban assault weapons. From the White House, he said it was time to act following a string of high-profile mass shootings and appealed to Congress not to let the American people down. Weᶐpons reports from Washington.
As President Biden walked to the podium, 56 candles burned behind him, each representing victims of gun violence in all US states and territories. He said everyday places in America were now killing fields, and enough was enough.
And let there be no mistake about the psychological trauma that gun violence leaves behind. Imagine being that little girl, that brave little girl in Uvalde, who smeared blood off her murdered friend's body on her own face to lie still among the corpses in her classroom and pretend she was dead in order to stay alive.
This comes after President Biden visited Uvalde in Texas and met the families of the school children and teachers murdered in their classroom. Previously, he had visited Buffalo in New York, where 10 people were shot dead last month in a supermarket. On Wednesday, 4 people were shot dead at a medical center in Oklahoma. Some swift action is happening. House Democrats have voted for a bill of tougher gun restrictions, which would take into account many of Mr. Biden's proposals. But Republicans are against this move. Some even brought their own guns to the meetings about the bill.
Here's a gun I carry every single day to protect myself, my family, my wife, my home. This is a XL 6-hour P365. Comes with a 15-round magazine. Here's a 7-round magazine.
This is why gun reform in America is difficult. Senate Republicans need to be on board for any laws to be passed. They think any restrictions threaten American people's constitutional right to own guns. President Biden's called their lack of action unconscionable. So far, the only area of possible bipartisan agreement involves red flag laws, which let authorities take guns from people at high risk of harming themselves or others. 19 states have them. But critics say that just doesn't go far enough to stop America's unique nightmare of enduring gun violence. Weᶐpons, BBC News, Washington.
Cassandra Crifasi is Deputy Director of the Centre for Gun Violence Prevention and Policy at Johns Hopkins. She gave us her analysis of the reaction to the President's speech.
It's rare to hear Republicans coming out in support of policies, but we've seen in some states Republican governors coming out in support of raising the minimum age for semi-automatic rifles, for example. Many of the policies that President Biden outlined have a strong evidence base. We know that strengthening our background check system is an effective way to screen out individuals who shouldn't have firearms. We know extreme risk protection orders can be effective at reducing mass shootings, homicide, suicide, domestic violence. So this is a suite of policies. I think it's ambitious, but if we could get even a few of these through, we could see substantial benefits in the U.S. I think we have seen movement at the state level that can help us be optimistic about how we can get some of these policies through at the state level. So, for example, over the last several years, we've seen 19 states and the District of Columbia expand extreme risk protection order laws. Yes, we need better implementation, and yes, we need more folks putting these laws into place in more states, but we're seeing movement at the state level, which I think can help us understand how we can have these conversations, how we can negotiate to make progress at the federal level.
You might have seen videos like this before, but here's the big secret. Anyone can make one of these videos in a few minutes. You might think you need a professional animator,